Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing well. I've got a story and a comment from a subscriber about another nail in the coffin for the real estate market and yet another reason for banks to take people's homes. It is very vital that people get the information, the true information about this real estate crash. And it is absolutely crazy to me that people don't see it. Most people do not see this, the effects. But check this out. I'm gonna dive in here right now, real quick. I'm gonna throw some more 80% off links to the real estate crash course, how you can prepare right now, actionable steps to get ready for this crash, and then how to jump and when to jump into this market. Check this out. This comment comes from MK. It says here, I recently had a conversation with a friend. One of his best friends owns a $10 million house outside of Billings, Montana. He was called by his insurance company and they told him that they were going to cancel his insurance in 18 months. His property is beautiful and it consists of a 4,000 square foot log cabin on 480 acres. He owns the property outright. He is trying to get insurance and now it is 3 times the price if you can even get it at all due to forest fires. About a week after he got this news, a senior bank official from a regional bank called him and asked him if he was interested in buying a resort property right next to him. It is about 400 acres with a hotel and a cafe on the property. The banker told him the bank had the mortgage on the property and the owner could not get insurance due to fire risk. The banker said in his portfolio there were over 500 properties. This is a small bank, mind you. 500 properties similar to the resort next to him. The bank regulations require property insurance or they have to foreclose. The banker confessed to him that the bank was in trouble and it could go under. One large fire could cost them hundreds of millions of dollars. Magnify this times all the banks holding mortgages in the West, and you have one huge Armageddon scenario. This is absolutely insane. And check this out. He goes on to say, and then I'm going to share this story with you that'll blow your mind too. He says, I have another friend who moved from Florida to Arizona. He said the same thing is going on in Florida. 14 insurance companies have gone out of business due to hurricanes and flooding. Insurance has skyrocketed up, and the flood insurance is required throughout the state. He speculated there are many at risk in Florida too, at-risk banks. Now, this story, before I get onto this story about a woman that had her insurance dropped, you have to remember, when you have a mortgage, it is a requirement that you have a homeowner's policy. As a matter of fact, banks regularly contact you and check that policy if you do not. And I did a story a couple of weeks ago on a home that I was near, and the homeowners are being kicked out. The home was going to auction. They only owed $9,900 on it. And they had that mortgage since 1994. Why were they losing it to auction? Because they didn't have insurance and the bank was foreclosing on them. They didn't even believe that this was happening. This is a very real scenario right now, and yet one more reason why so many homes are going to be in foreclosure, and I want you ready to be able to pick them up for pennies on the dollar way before they go through the 4 steps of foreclosure, ending up at real estate owned or REO properties. You don't want to be in that realm because you're going for market rates. I want you at the city steps. I want you at the courthouse steps. I want you to rock and roll. You've got the money ready. You've got everything ready for that. That's where I want you to be. Check this out. This story is out of WFLA in Florida. Insurance company drops Palm Harbor widow who just replaced roof. It says if you have an old roof or too many claims, you might expect to get dropped by your insurance company. But a Tampa Bay area woman says she did everything right and her coverage was still canceled. Let me stop there and say, you can't go against these insurance companies. Even if you're in the right, they are insolvent. They have had so many headwinds beyond borrowing costs getting higher, hard to get materials to fix up the homes that they have claims against, and to get the labor to do it. These companies are done and they are walking away. And think about all of the people that are losing their insurance policies right now. Put it down in the comments if you're having issues with your insurance company. In California, we have this massive problem where they're saying it's high fire danger, and you're like, this is a set of tract homes with no vegetation or anywhere around. No, there's not. But if the map says it's got fire danger, that's what they do. And they're dropping policies left and right. And if you can't replace that policy in time, the bank is going to foreclose on your home. Okay? This is very serious. And yet I see it as an amazing opportunity, right? Where people weren't ready, this is going to be a big deal. And let's say they are able to find someone. Look at the gentleman here that they're talking about that has a $10 million property, and he's scrambling to find insurance, and it's 3 times more expensive. You got to think about that. These companies are pricing in huge risk right now. It says here, Jill Pictor still doesn't understand why she's received a cancellation letter and turned to 8 on Your Side investigation for help. The thing is, the cancellation was not about Pictor, but it could leave her without coverage right in the middle of hurricane season. Pictor lives in a modest community in Palm Harbor with homes dating back several decades. However, some things like Pictor's roof are brand new. She just shelled out nearly $15,000 for it out of her own pocket. She also paid for a wind mitigation and a 4-point inspection. Trees were trimmed prior to the roof being put on, she said. Pictor told 8 on Your Side she's been in Florida for 20 years and has never had a claim. She says, I'm feeling a bit taken advantage of. She said, I've done everything that I know I can do and I'm still getting dropped. Pictor's policy is with Heritage Insurance, one of the top providers in Florida, which insures an estimated 166,000 homes in the state according to the state data. But soon they'll insure one less. Jane's coverage ends on October 6th, according to a non-renewal notice. But it's not her fault. The reason is other agents no longer represent Heritage Insurance, the notice said. Jane said she wants to stay with Heritage and tried to get another agent. And he called back and said, no, they won't allow it. Pictor recalled, it's their policy. Think about if this lady has a mortgage against her home. If she can't, and think about Florida as a whole, it is literally insurance Armageddon over there. And there are a lot of people that have wanted to buy in Florida, but they were priced out of the market. Think about when the next hurricane rolls through and more agencies leave, and then those homes are decimated, they are taken, the bank takes the properties and then puts them on the courthouse steps for pennies on the dollar. The question is, are you in the mode to where you can recognize the problem, then find a solution, and then act? That's why I wrote the course. This kind of stuff is so vital to know and to think ahead. Most people do not make a lot of money in life because they are not prepared. And then, even if they're prepared, they cannot identify when to jump and what is truly an opportunity and what is just fluff. That is why it's so very vital that you're ready. These are very serious, real stories that are happening to real people. Let me know in the comment section below if you're having problems or if you've gotten a notice from your insurance company that your insurance is being canceled. Let me know what the company name is in the comment section so I can research this even more and bring you more and more information about this insurance apocalypse. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, the real estate crash is happening right now. Whether the mainstream wants to acknowledge it or not, this is what it looked like in 2005, 2006, when all kinds of headwinds were battling against the real estate market until the sheeple just screamed and ran out the doors. And that is where we are going to make our money. Hope you got something out of this, and thank you so much for watching. The Economic Ninja is out.